Hola, this is Carpaccio with the Weekly Paleo Report. I'm actually doing it on Tuesday, November 8th, instead of Wednesday, my usual day, because I think the internet out here on the playa is so slow. I'm going to have to upload this sucker overnight. So the eclipse was this morning at 5 o'clock my time. I just woke up to see it. Absolutely beautiful and amazing. And yeah, the moon is going to be moving into Gemini probably by the time you hear this report. And when she does so, of course, she's going to come in and conjunct Mars on Friday, square Jupiter and Neptune also on Friday before she goes into Cancer. And she's going to stay in Cancer, opposing that beautiful Pluto, right, on Monday. Trining, okay, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Neptune, the Sun. We got the beautiful water signs happening there. It's going to be absolutely, we got a real mix of energy going on here that I'll be talking to you about today. Starting with, of course, this eclipse is, the moon was conjunct Uranus, you know, for the eclipse in Taurus. And the sun will oppose Uranus Wednesday, today. Mercury square Saturn today. Sun square Saturn Friday. Mercury opposite Uranus now. So we have this big T-square going on that was, you know, going on last week also. And I talked about it a little bit. I'm going to talk about it some more now. But what we've got is this, basically, the Sun, Mercury, Venus, all in Scorpio, in making a nice trine to Neptune and Jupiter over there in Pisces, while they are in conjunct Mars in Gemini. Yeah. So we've got this real mix of this T-square, Saturn squaring Uranus, you know, Sun, Mercury squaring Saturn, opposing Uranus, creating a lot of tension. And at the same time, then you've got, you know, this other energy of the trine happening. So there's a great mixture, yeah, of the light and the dark, positive, negative, however you want to look at it. But it is super intense. Venus trines Neptune tomorrow, Thursday, and you know, comes into a trine with Jupiter by next Tuesday. So let me find a spot here out of the waves. I think I may need to climb up there a little bit if I'm gonna get any peace and quiet. Let's see. All right, everybody. Hola. Well, I'm a little bit in the shadow here, but I need the shade because it is freaking hot. So I hope I'm not too much of a shadow. I know last week I scared a couple of people with those black eyes. Now I'm in the shadow. They must think, oh, Carpaccio's going down the drain. Oh, goodness gracious me. So, anyway, let's talk about the drain. Let's talk about Scorpio. Let's talk about this eclipse. Let's talk about that Sun, Mercury, Venus, South Node in Scorpio. What I did not say was actually by next Tuesday, Venus moves into Sagittarius. The phoenix rises from the ashes. Transitional time. But for now, we're still in the cauldron. We're still in the cauldron, and I want to talk about what's in the cauldron here, because Scorpio deals with intensity, because intensity, right, pressure intensifies, and therefore it's like it really brings us into confrontation. It brings us, you know, face to face okay, with emotions, with desires, with needs, and with fears that otherwise, you know what, if it wasn't intense, we would just go on our merry way and we would pursue our distractions and but this intensity really brings things into focus of, like, you know, what is the bottom line, what's underneath the mask and the surface and the distractions, and, you know, so, you know, this is a time period of this eclipse of really facing ourselves, of really confronting ourselves. And Scorpio helps us do that by having other people confront us. So if we're not confronting ourselves enough, guess what? We'll have some other people confront us to do us a favor because you need to look at, or you need to feel, or you need to think about some stuff that you have not been looking at, thinking about, or feeling. So, you know, you can do it by yourself. So, you know, Moon conjunct Uranus, North Node in Taurus, is like radically, self-revelation. Uranus has to do with revelation, with that opening of that third eye, going, aha, these are my true deepest values. These are my true deepest needs. I need this in order to survive. And if we're doing that, if we're doing our Moon North Node Uranus enough, then we will not attract or, you know, experience as much confrontation of other people telling us, look at your shit, look at your stuff, you're not. But so it's a complementary axis. You see what I'm saying? So, and in today's mantra, I talk about giving and taking. And what we want to understand here is that this lunar eclipse, okay, where the Moon conjunct her North Node is super powerful, besides she's exalted in Taurus, Moon loves Taurus, earth and water, you know, super feminine, powerful feeling energy that really comes into, okay, my physical, sensuous, sexual body. So issues around money, issues around sex, issues around relationships, issues around food, okay, issues around survival, the supply chain, inflation, you know, whatever you want to look at it, so many, you know, issues are really coming up here, really pushing each and every single one of us to step into self-sufficiency, self-love, self-care. What do I need to do for myself? This is the opposite of victim consciousness. Okay, this is the opposite of the martyr. This is stepping into I, me, my. I need, I want, I take care of myself. I am going to go where I want, do what I want, say what I want, according to my own unique personal truth and my own unique personal values. And you could say, oh, that's pretty narcissistic. Oh, that's pretty selfish. Oh God, you know, like if everybody did that, you know, we wouldn't have any relationships. Indeed, Taurus does best, you know, better than Taurus and Virgo I've seen as being the most comfortable alone. It's like I can, you know, Taurus, I can take care of myself. Thank you very much. Scorpio, go away. I don't need the intensity. I don't need the soulmate, soul union, merging, transformation. It's like, I just want to live simply and let others simply live. That's Taurus, right? And what we want to say is, don't forget, The North Node is in Taurus from January of 22 to July of 23. You can look back 9 years ago. The North Node was in Scorpio. And I would have said the opposite. I would have said, guess what? Now is the time, 9 years ago, and 9 years in the future, in 2031, right? The North Node in Scorpio is going to say, don't be so concerned about, maintaining and holding and receiving and self-love. No. Now is a time when you need to stretch yourself and deal with, go to therapy, go to counseling, see what, resistance or fears you have around trusting and vulnerability and opening. So, this is all I can say is there's a time and a place for everything. And now, during this time and this place, is a time for self-care. And this learning how to receive is very important. And we could say, if it's giving and taking, Taurus, Venus, the feminine is receptive. It's taking. Thank you very much. I'll take another. Thank you. I would like seconds. Thank you. I would like more. Please give me more. I am receiving. I am the moon eclipsed in Taurus. And with Uranus, I just realized that I also want that, and I need that, and I'm attracted to that, and I want more of that in my reality. Yeah? And the other flip side of that is Sun, Venus, Mercury moving through Scorpio, ruled by Mars and Pluto. I will take. Thank you very much. My little Red Riding Hood. Right? Scorpio says, let us merge and mix. I am the sorcerer. I am the shaman. I am the spider woman. And I want to just take, weave you into my web and transform you and change you and kill you, that you may resurrect into something completely new and different, deeper and wiser as a result of that alchemical fusion. Now we can go too far in either direction, and that's what this mantra is about. We can give too much, and we can take too much. So we can be in a situation, and where I put it is in the mantra, it's like my soul, like my conscience, living with myself. I can feel guilty or ashamed if I take too much, right? And in my relationships, if there's a balance, if I'm giving and taking in with equanimity, I'm gonna live, and my conscience is gonna be, I'm gonna be more at peace with myself. And in my relationships and partnerships, I'm going to be more at peace with my lover and with the outside world at large and with the universe as a whole. The balance between giving and taking, the in-breath and the out-breath, the yin and the yang. But I really want to focus on giving and taking, because let's look at the dark side, the shadow side here of Scorpio, where we take too much. That's exploitation. That's manipulation. That is a power grab. And we see that happening in the outside world with the politics, with the elections, with the billionaires and the, World Bank and whoever, right? I mean, we're all experiencing this time period right now, okay, where there are multiple external sources and authorities, Saturn in Aquarius, political, corporate institutions and corporations, just doing a massive power grab, right? To the point of even killing people, reducing the population for the sake of the good in the future, right? So we get this, there's a super dark side here. And what we may want to just look at is, what is my shadow? Where do I want to take too much? Where do I want to control too much? Who do I want to manipulate or use? Or abuse for, my Taurus purposes. So am I exploiting? Am I taking? Am I using others financially, emotionally, sexually, idea-wise, however, whatever chakra, where there's this, and Mercury coming around now, particularly Venus and Mercury in conjunct Mars and Gemini. That's where the mantra also comes from. Discuss, right? Desire, discuss, and then reach. We need communication here, folks. Lots of communication. We need to bring into clarity. Okay? And Scorpio is, the 8th house is the house of secrets. So this is a time to talk about the taboo. This is a time to, spill your guts. This is a time to really have those intentional dialogues. And maybe you need a counselor, maybe you need a therapist, maybe you need a third party. You need a witness if you feel afraid to speak or confront or face someone who is abusing or taking or dominating you too much. So maybe you need help doing your Taurus self-care. And this is this is kind of the, and I wanted to bring in not just Taurus and Scorpio, but we need to talk about the whole fixed cross. Because there's also what? Boom. Leo and Aquarius. And when you've got a T-square happening like this, okay, with this Saturn up there in Aquarius, gazing down upon the full moon eclipse, along with Venus, Mercury, and Uranus involved, Saturn is really coming in very strong here. In the sign of Aquarius has to do with our personal future, the future of our relationships, and the future of society. This is Aquarius. It's the future. And since December of 2020, when Jupiter and Saturn conjuncted at 0 degrees of Aquarius, Saturn moving through Aquarius is restructuring and reforming our future. And obviously with the use of technology. I might have sat in a pile of fire ants here or something, man. These guys are starting to eat me up. But what I really wanted to look at is, and a lot of people ask me, how long is this going to go on? When is this going to be over? What is the big scoop? And what I really want to point out is this has been and I tried to think of different analogies for this. I think a good analogy that I can use is a bomb. I think of Hiroshima, okay, or a huge bomb has been dropped. This total lunar eclipse, boom. And first I thought of you throw a huge rock into a still pond. and there's a big splash. And then there's the ripple effect. And those ripples may not hit shore for a long time. Or a bomb drops and it blows everything up. And it doesn't really all settle until later. So what we have here is Saturn. Saturn came all the way up to 25 degrees of Aquarius, and that was June 4th. So it moved, it's been moving up all through 2022, up to 25, goes retrograde, right, until October 23rd, just a couple weeks ago. And now it's going to go direct, and it's not coming back to 25 until February 1st. Mark that, February 1st. What began last February 1st and has been restructured and reordered and reflected upon, and the changes in your life and your relationships, okay, and your business and our world is not going to be like really fully resolved or complete until February 1st, when Saturn passes over that same degree. Along with Jupiter. Jupiter went forward, okay, up to 8 degrees of Aries, okay, and that was July 28th. Jupiter stationed and went retrograde, and it's not even going direct, okay, it's still going retrograde, back closer to Neptune, right, to give us a new dream. And it doesn't go direct until November 23rd. We got a couple more weeks here, okay, of Jupiter still going retrograde. It hasn't even turned around. So these results of elections and the results of what's going on in the Ukraine and the results of, all the changes that have been going on this year, and, all the threats of, a new virus and a new this, and, all the fears and all the mongering and all the, bullshit that's going on around here. Jupiter goes direct, okay, in a couple of weeks, but it doesn't come back to 8 degrees, of Aries. It doesn't really hit any fresh territory, okay, until March 17th. No, I'm sorry, February 15th. So Saturn hits new territory February 1st. Jupiter hits new territory February 15th. I was also going to go into Mars, because Mars is still retrograde, really. I mean, Mars doesn't go direct until January 12th, okay? But just get this sense of these planets bring in, they cover fresh ground, fresh territory, new ideas, new businesses, new relationships, okay, new ideas, new discoveries, new viruses, new science, whatever. Through June and July, Saturn and Jupiter then go retrograde, and we have to make adjustments. We have to, like really make decisions and choices inwardly and remodel, and, do our business and our relationships differently and take care of ourselves differently. And the results of our choices, the results of our decisions, the results of our study, the results are yielded in February. So it's premature right now to be making commitments, decisions, breaking contracts, breaking up, or getting married, or whatever. This is still a time where we are very much, boom, like things are really up in the air. Let them be up in the air. It's okay. Expand your tolerance for chaos. And the longer you can stay in that state of unknowing without grasping prematurely, fearfully onto something that you think is going to save you or hold you or secure you. The more choice, the more freedom, the more opportunity, the more expansion, the more of an expanded universe you will experience in the future. So I'm really encouraging people now to, yeah, it's hard. It's scary. There's nothing to hold on to. We need to really go into Taurus. We need to really go into ourselves. And we need to confront and hold back anything that wants to strap us down, limit us, take, our money or our bodies or our time or our energy. Boom, we need to really... Sun in Scorpio is back off, Buster. Squaring Saturn, back off. Government, back off, mandate, back off. I mean, this is just really... And, it's you got to really oh God, am I really strong enough to do this? Am I really independent enough? Am I really self-sufficient enough? I mean, and then that's, of course, where I come back to nature, back to the playa, back to the beach, back to the mother. And the closer you are to Gaia, baby, the simpler and the better you're going to feel, because she's just seeing it all, supporting it all. Like I've said many times, she could just shrug and we would be gone. So, that feminine, lunar, Gaia energy could just shrug us off, but she doesn't. She doesn't. So yeah, we're in this time period, and it will come to a close. It's like we're doing a study, we're gathering information, we're doing an experiment, we're doing a scholarly, what do they call those things? Dissertation, or we're gathering everything that we need, and it will be, like I said, a certain phase of it, or the test, or the finals, or the report card is going to be coming in February. So yeah, don't jump prematurely or turn your paper in before the test is over. Go over your answers. If you think you're done, what you should do is you should go back and review your test, look at all your answers, and go, now am I really sure about that? There could be a danger in not questioning yourself enough. Ow! All right, let's wrap it up here. That's enough for today. When a balance of giving and taking is desired, discussed, and reached, my soul, my love, and the universe will have joy, harmony, and peace. I was going to say my soul, my love, and the world at large. Just because we can be experiencing, and getting so much, crap. If you're online too much, or if you're not looking at the water or the waves, or doing your yoga or swimming or whatever, doing your astrology, that's what and you're, getting inundated with all this social Saturn stuff, you could be experiencing this outside yourself or inside yourself, and hopefully you're experiencing it inside yourself, so that it's not happening to you, it's happening in you. So it's your Saturn, your inner authority, okay, your elder within okay, that is really overlooking, your life experience. And you don't need that to be some president or some billionaire or some other, So as usual, I encourage like getting off the screen and getting out to the beach. Ow! Yeah, baby. One more time. When a balance of giving and taking is desired, discussed, and reached, my soul, my love, and the universe will have joy, harmony, and peace. May you have joy, harmony, and peace. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.